Hey guys, so if you've just been given an Amazon vendor account and you've been tasked with growing that account, it can be very overwhelming. There's millions of different things going on. You might have thousands of different products. So it's hard to know what you should actually be doing. And so in this video, I'm going to be giving you a blueprint, a 90-day kind of plan that you can follow to prioritize and to start growing that account as fast as possible and to really start kind of getting those quick wins under your belt. So for those of you who don't know me or who are new here, my name is Benjamin Bolshinsky. I used to work at Amazon in the Amazon Vendors Services team for around 2.5 years, and now I run a company called Vendor Launch, where we work with many Amazon vendors to grow their purchase orders. And so, without further ado, if you're an account manager who's taken on a new Amazon vendor account, so this blueprint is for you. Again, these first 90 days are crucial because that's kind of the time to start building a foundation, to start prioritizing and really growing the account. But it can also be very overwhelming. You might have thousands of products, you might have thousands of different issues, you just don't know what to start with. And so really, the first 30 days, what you want to do is you want to identify the top 20% of products in your Amazon catalog. So these are the top 20% of products that are driving 80% of sales. Broadly, this is called the Pareto principle. So you have a small subset of inputs which are driving the vast majority of your outputs. So in this case, and this principle applies not only to Amazon but almost anything in life. But in Amazon, you're going to have a small subset of products, around 20%. It might even be 10%, 5% of your number of products on your Amazon catalog that are driving the majority of sales of your purchase orders. And so you want to make a list of what those are. To do that, what you can do is go to Vendor Central, Retail Analytics, and then just look at the sales in the trailing 365 days, rank them, and then just find out what products drive 80% of your yearly sales. And that's the list of products you should be focusing on in these first 90 days. And so once you've got that list, you want to make sure that the products are all buyable and that they're in stock. Look for any compliance or suppression issues. And the reason you want to do this is because if the product is not buyable to begin with, anything you do downstream, advertising, promotions, any of that is irrelevant, right? You need to have the product buyable to begin with. It's the single biggest priority that you should have in your account, and that's buyability. So you want to make sure that these products that you've identified, the top 20%, that they're all buyable and in stock. And once you've done that, you want to launch a quick automatic advertising campaign with all of these products to start kind of driving sales. I wouldn't worry too much about this. You're going to optimize and review it over the coming weeks, but just get all those best sellers, put them in one campaign, one ad group, start with a budget, $1,000 a month, whatever it may be, and then just get that. You want to start getting some data coming along. So just launch an advertising campaign. So then this takes me to day 30 to day 60. So in the second month, what you want to do is you want to start focusing on adding new products to your Amazon account. Basically, go through your catalog and identify which products you haven't yet added to Amazon. So these are products you might be selling to other retailers. These are products you might be selling to direct-to-consumer on your direct-to-consumer website. You just want to have a look at which products you don't have on Amazon yet. So what you can do is make an Excel with all of your barcodes or SKUs and then just do a VLOOKUP to Amazon. So which of them have an ASIN number? Those that do not have an ASIN number, you can probably assume you haven't yet added those barcodes, those SKUs to Amazon yet. And so days 30 to day 60, you want to create ASINs and to create these new products. The reason you want to do this is because the more products you've got added, the better your account will perform. So day 60 to day 90, so in your third kind of month, you want to take another look at the top 20% of your catalog, and you want to start reviewing the product page content. Firstly, make a list of all of the products that do not have A+ content, maximum number of images, a brand store link to the byline, optimized titles, descriptions, and bullet points. So basically, the way I do this is make an Excel, those top 20% of products, put them into the Excel, and then you want to have a number of different columns. So does it have A+ content? Column 1. Column 2, does it have maximum number of images? Column 3, does it have the product video? Column 4, is the brand store linked to the byline? And then is the content optimized? And so just identify which of those bestsellers you have not completed this for. The reason is because doing these things will help with your conversion rates. The more images, optimized titles, descriptions, the more you've done when it comes to content, the higher your conversion rate will be, and the greater the sales will be. And then once you've made that list, you can start working with a designer, whether that's in-house or outsourced, to address these content gaps. So that's day 60 to day 90. The other thing is with your brand store. So if you don't have a brand store yet, I would definitely create one in this time period. And not only that, but you want to make sure that your brand store is linked to the byline for your product pages. If it is not linked to the byline, customers won't be able to access it. So you just want to make sure it's linked to the byline, which is pretty easy to do. It should take you 30 minutes. So that's the 90-day overview. The reason this works is because in most cases, as I mentioned before, 80% of your Amazon purchase orders are driven by 20% of your catalog. In some cases, the distribution is even more skewed than that. You might find that 90% of your revenue is driven by 5 or 10% of your products. That is also quite common. And so effectively, effort applied towards your bestsellers will have a greater immediate impact on your total account revenue than the same effort applied to the bottom 20% of your catalog. So in the first 90 days, you should prioritize the low-hanging fruit, those quick wins. For example, if you have a subset of products that are doing $1,000 in revenue, and then you've got another subset that are doing $10, if you increase the $10 by 1%, you make 10 cents. If you increase the $1,000 by 1%, you make $10. So you're going to have more leverage, a greater result by focusing on those bestsellers in the first 90 days than you will have by focusing on your tail end of your catalog. So that's why we prioritize the top 20% of products. Again, these are low effort and high impact tasks that drive momentum and help build a solid foundation for your account. And then once you've optimized and reviewed your bestsellers, then this is where you can start working through the tail end of the catalog. These are the hundreds of thousands of products that have, very little sales, no sales history, no reviews, broken pages, all those tail end the tail end section of your catalog. That's when you can then start focusing on those and cleaning those up. But again, the first 90 days can be the most overwhelming, just because you don't know what to start with, you don't know what to begin with. There's millions of different things to do. Everyone wants different, different priorities, different this, different that. So this is where identifying that top 20% of your catalog will give you direction, will give you clarity, and will give you something to focus on. So hopefully you found that helpful. That concludes this video. If you have any questions or if you want to work together, you can book a call using the URL in the description below. But otherwise, have a great day and talk next week. Bye.